They say it takes a village to raise a child.
Well, it takes a community of GPs
to nurture the next generation of rounded and grounded doctors.
I think if you haven't had any medical students before, a simple question is, why haven't you done it? They find it an incredibly positive experience. You find it an incredibly positive experience. It has you thinking about your own work and about how you might even do things differently.
And it's an opportunity for us as a practice to promote ourselves, to promote where we live and how we work. This is an opportunity to sell yourselves and to show that you will encourage the next generation.
You know, there is the misconception that being a GP is just sore throats, sore ears, but actually, you know, the stuff that the GP sees every day is very far from that. In regards to seeing patients by myself, it's really showed me what GPs mean when they say, you know, you don't know what's coming through the door, because they've had me lead-in consultations here. It kind of gives you more pieces of the jigsaw than you would have in a hospital setting. I've learned so much in this placement that I hadn't expected to. The art of medicine and how to treat patients. I've been so inspired when I've been watching my GPs in their consultations, because, you know, their manner with patients is just incredible.
This is actually where medicine is happening. This is where the holistic care is happening. This is where you get exposure to everything. I think that is what students are looking for. I think don't put your head down, put your head up and look around. We have to promote general practice, and we have to actually showcase general practice. So having the medical students in your practice will actually secure the future.
Well, I've been teaching medical students for 10 years, and I always look forward to meeting someone new, and I enjoy the enthusiasm that the students bring to the practice, and I just love imparting knowledge and experience, and I suppose that lovely mentoring role. And for me, I've had the pleasure of seeing a lot of my students then follow through to GP careers.
I just think it's a breath of fresh air into the practice, because you can all get caught up in your daily business and how busy it is. Where the medical student comes in and they're brand new and they're fresh and they're young and they're just so keen to learn. So much of a medical student is hard work, but equally you want well-balanced, rounded young people to be junior doctors. You have to up your game a bit for a student, and I just think it brings out the best in everybody.
You've nothing to lose and everything to gain. You get a young, enthusiastic person who just wants to learn, coming in, who wants to listen to you and hear about your stories and your experience.
I think we all probably have someone in mind, like a teacher or a tutor that impacted our own learning journeys, and it's nice to think that you could possibly be that person for someone else, for the next generation as well. The morale's quite low at the minute among lots of GPs, but I think it's really, really important to show students that it can actually be a really wonderful career and really worthwhile.
I've been doing this job for so long that so much of it can become routine, and when you have a student there and you have to explain to them what you're doing, then you have to suddenly start thinking about it. It keeps you in touch with what students are learning, and there's also a financial reward which helps the practice finances.
I mean, we've all come through medical school and we've all come through GP training, so we all have an experience of what it's like to be taught. And I think really what medical students often need is that experience of primary care and seeing what we do firsthand.
I don't think that when you're extremely busy and extremely pressurised and you feel as though you're firefighting, that you stop doing these sorts of things.
The group of GPs that I work with, they thrive on educating these people, and they just love it when they do well.
Placement in general practice, I'd say it's the most unique placement that we've had to date. I think you see the rapport between the GP and the patients, and you tend not to see that in a hospital.
It felt very one-to-one, that you're working so closely with someone who was actually practicing medicine, and that you felt like you were really doing something as a student.
The whole practice was very welcoming. Everybody knew who I was before I even came in. They knew my name, which was really, really helpful. Made sure that I was involved, which was really nice.
Well, so before I started GP, I wouldn't have gave it a thought, but now generally in the back of my head is a potential career, yeah.
General practice in primary care is a great place to learn medicine, because we think about the person and their journey and their experiences. The C25 curriculum, which launches in 2020, gives us a fantastic opportunity to make a major change in how our students learn to become doctors. They were spending a very large proportion of their time in general practice, and for that we're going to need the support of our GP colleagues right across the country, because they are the people who will really help us to train the doctors that we need for the next generation.
Someone sitting in the shade today
because someone planted a tree a long time ago.
Someone is sitting in the shade today
because someone planted a tree a long time ago.